The Lavender Witch Quest of the Supreme. In the frozen north of the celestial realm, where ice crystals glittered like fallen stars, Kelvin stood beside her mentor, Hecate. Before them pulsed a door of crimson light. The path to becoming the Supreme is fraught with trials. Hecate's voice was as crisp as the air. This first beast is yours alone to face. They stepped through the portal into a world of suffocating heat and emerald canopies. The air shimmered with life and unseen dangers. I can only advise from here, Hecate whispered, her form melting into the jungle's edge like a mirage. Show the beast your spirit. A shadow fell over the clearing, and the oppressive heat intensified tenfold. With a screech that tore through the jungle, the vermilion bird, zhuque, descended in a storm of embers. A challenger! Its voice boomed like 1,000 wildfires. Prove your worth, little witch, or be reduced to ash. Before Kelvin could react, zhuque unleashed a spiraling vortex of pure fire. Instinctively, Kelvin threw up a shimmering lavender shield. The flames hammered against it, the force of the blast cracking the crystalline magic like a pane of glass. The shield shattered into 1,000,000 purple shards. Fire washed over her, searing her arm and consuming the delicate fabric of her dress. She cried out, stumbling back, the smell of burnt lavender and ozone filling the air. This was power on a scale she had never imagined. Pain is a crucible, Hecate's voice echoed in her mind, a distant, calming anchor. Kelvin gritted her teeth, focusing not on the hurt, but on the unyielding strength of the earth beneath her. The lavender light around her solidified, swirling into a hard, unforgiving gray. Her blonde hair bled to shimmering silver, her ruined dress reformed, hardening into a razor-sharp steel bodice and a lethal blade-edged miniskirt. From her back, magnificent metal wings unfurled with the shriek of grinding steel, each feather a sharpened blade. "You cannot burn what is already forged in fire, bird," she yelled, her voice now carrying a metallic echo. With a single, powerful beat of her new wings, she rocketed into the sky, a silver blur against the emerald canopy, leaving a sonic boom in her wake. Zhuque tilted its head, intrigued. A new shell? Let's see how it holds. It spat a volley of smaller, faster fireballs. Kelvin twisted through the air, her metal wings deflecting the shots with sharp pings, each impact sending a jarring vibration through her entire body. She retaliated, flicking her wrists to send a storm of steel shards at the divine beast. They were not mere bullets, but razor-sharp feathers from her own wings, which regenerated as fast as she could launch them into the fiery foe. The shards peppered zhuque, sinking into its fiery plumage before melting into slag. They didn't wound it, but they enraged it. With an ear-splitting screech, zhuque's form shimmered and split into 3 identical, fiery birds that immediately surrounded her. The 3 birds attacked in concert, weaving a cage of fire around her. Kelvin was forced onto the defensive, her wings a blur of motion as she parried and dodged. The heat was immense. Even her steel form was beginning to glow cherry red at the edges. Direct assault is useless, she realized, the heat starting to compromise her metallic form. It's a being of pure energy. I can't destroy it, but maybe I can contain it. Her eyes scanned the battlefield and locked onto a colossal ironwood tree, one of the ancient titans of the jungle. An idea sparked. She clapped her hands together, and a bow of polished steel materialized in a flash of gray light. It was heavy, powerful. As she drew the string, an arrow of pure, condensed force appeared, trailing a shimmering steel cable. She feinted left, drawing the attention of 2 of the fire clones, then shot past the 3rd, loosing the arrow not at the bird, but at the ironwood tree. The arrowhead slammed into the ancient trunk with the force of a thunderclap, anchoring itself deep within the wood. With the cable anchored, she flew in a wide, desperate arc around the real zhuque, the steel beam unspooling behind her. The fire clones pursued, their flames searing her back. She ignored the pain, focusing only on completing the circle. The loop was complete. With a savage cry, she pulled the cable taut. It snapped around Zhuque, binding its wings to its body and pinning it against the ancient tree. The fire clones dissolved into a shower of harmless sparks. The divine beast roared, its body temperature soaring to impossible levels. The steel cable began to glow white-hot, then drip molten metal. She had only moments. Her steel form was useless now. She needed the opposite of fire. She needed water. Closing her eyes, she let the rigid steel dissolve from her being. The transformation was draining, pulling at her very core. A cool blue light enveloped her, her armor flowing into a glittering gown of liquid moonlight. A delicate, wide-brimmed hat of woven water droplets formed on her head. Now the water witch, she felt the lifeblood of the jungle. She reached out, not with her hands, but with her will, pulling moisture from the humid air, drawing up the hidden streams beneath the earth, even taking the sap from the very leaves on the trees. Above her, a colossal sphere of water formed, a miniature ocean suspended in the sky. It churned and swirled, reflecting the entire jungle in its shimmering surface. It was a sight of both beautiful and terrifying power. With a final, focused breath, she sent it crashing down. It wasn't a wave, but a deluge, a focused waterfall of immense pressure that slammed into the struggling zhuque. Steam exploded outwards in a deafening roar, blanketing the entire clearing in a thick, white fog. When the steam cleared, the clearing was drenched and silent. The great ironwood tree was blackened but standing. Of zhuque, only a pile of warm gray ash remained. Kelvin, utterly exhausted, sank to her knees, the battle finally over. A single, glowing white feather floated down from the sky. It touched her chest and dissolved into her. A cool rush of energy. "You have earned the winds of the cosmos," a voice whispered in her soul. From the ashes, a tiny bird of bright red feathers emerged, shook itself, and soared into the sky. "Thank you," it cried. "I am fabulous and free." A wall of blue flame heralded Hecate's return. "You have mastered fire and water, and won the blessing of air. The south is conquered," she gestured, and a new door of vibrant green bloomed from the damp earth. Ready for the next trial? Kelvin rose, a new strength in her eyes. "Let's do this."